26th of April, Rabbi Levitt, Pele Yoetz.
Okay, we are back in the Gemara in Tamid because Meir was so astounded by what it said over here. He had to take a look in this Gemara. So we're gonna see this Gemara again.
Okay, I'm gonna get mine.
Okay.
All right, what page are we on, please?
We're on the Lamed Beis Amid Aleph, 32a.
Okay, Lamed Beis Amid Aleph, I'm here.
Okay, so now if you go to the middle of the in the middle of the Gemara, and you see the line that starts with the words lay, Ezehu Ashir.
Got it.
Mayor, you have the place?
No.
It's on 32A2, Meir, if you have an art scroll.
A2.
On the right-hand column, the very bottom. Who is called a wealthy man?
So, okay. Adin Mitkre Ashir. Okay, hold on. I got it now. Okay.
Great. Wonderful. Okay, so here we go. Amar lehen. So he said to them. So we're following through. We're following the last two words of that same line.
So now we're on 32A3, very top.
Okay. So a round of applause for page 2 of Art Scroll. We turned the page. We may not have done anything on the page, but we did turn it, so that's good enough for us. Amar lehen, he said to them. He said, this is a series of questions actually. Chachmei HaNegev, the Ziknei HaNegev, the elders of the Negev, and this was the question that we're dealing with over here. Ma ya'avid inish. What shall a man do? V'yichye, so that he will live. He will have life. And when we say life over here, we mean life in both worlds. That he should have a full life in this world and a full life in Olam Haba, Be'ezus Hashem. Amru Loi, they said to him, you want to know how you're going to live? Yamis Atzmo. He should kill himself. That's what it says. So the question, of course, is what did the Ziknei Negev mean by this? This is quite a provocative statement that they've said over here. This needs the commentators. Because why? Because they don't explain themselves at all. They don't explain themselves at all. As a matter of fact, the next thing that the Gemara says is Ma yavid inish v'yamus. What should a man do if he wants to have death? And what is it? And what did they answer him over there? They said Yichya esatzmo. He should live it up. He should really live. So this is a very not understandable Gemara. What are they talking about? We need the commentators over here. We have no clue of what's going on. And that's the whole Gemara. That's the whole exchange. Then after that, they go on to another question. They didn't ask, what do you mean by that? It was apparently it was clear to them. It was clear to the questioner what the answer was. Anyway, so Rashi says over here, Yomi says Atzmo. Now you can find this Rashi. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, about 14, 15 lines from the bottom of the Rashis. You see the Dibra Maskil, Yichya es Atzmo. Now, before that, you got Yomis es Atzmo. So Rashi's giving an explanation to both answers that the elders of the Negev gave. The first answer that they gave was Yomi says Atzmo. He should kill himself, like the later in the Pele Yoetz is translated the Gemara. That's exactly what he said. What does that mean? Says Rashi, Yashpil es Atzmo. He should make himself shafel. You know what the word shafel means?
Well, it means to lower, doesn't it? To lessen him? No, lower. Yeah.
Right. This was one of the midos of the Talmidim of Avram Avinu they learned to do, like it says in Avos.
Oh, okay, right.
The shafal ruach. Now, what does it mean to lower oneself? So probably like it says in Pirkei Avos, to be shafal ruach, to not hold oneself in with such to think that oneself is so great, or so this or so that. But I have over here from the Rush. The Rush gives a more elucidating answer to this than Rashi does. Over here, Rashi's very sparse in his words as usual. The Rush over here says Yitrach b'chol malacha. He has a few things over here. He says he should put himself out b'toreach in all manner of malacha, in all types of work. V'yimna atzmo mitanugim, and he should hold himself back from going after all sorts of physical and material pleasures, tanugim. And he says, v'yitzayer atzmo lilmod Torah, and as a result of that, he will be able to afflict himself in the learning of Torah. And what does it mean to afflict oneself in al yedei, and through that, yizke l'chaye olam hazeh u'l'chaye olam haba, and through his afflicting himself in Torah and withholding from himself physical and material pleasures, and engaging in malacha, he will be zocha. He'll be zocha to this world and to the next. That's what the Rush says. And this is exactly what Reb Chaim Kanievsky, Saratora, Zeichet Tzadik B'Kodesh L'Bracha, when he was asked by someone, what do I do in order to get a tam for learning Torah? I want to get a geschmack from learning Torah. I want to enjoy learning Torah, to be able to engage in learning Torah. So Reb Chaim told him, if you want a geschmack from Torah, you have to train yourself to restrict the geschmack that you have in the tanugim of Olam Hazeh. Okay, so that was the first question that was asked, and that was the answer. What does he do in order to have that he should live? Kill himself, deny himself the physical pleasures of this world, and that will allow him to engage in Torah. And through that he engages in Torah, he will be zocheh to both worlds.
What did it mean to afflict yourself with Torah?
So what does it mean to afflict oneself in Torah? So first of all, we could say that this is, in other words, if he's going to if he's going to be able to learn the Torah, like Rav Chaim Kanievsky learned, who knows how many times he learned the Shas, 100 times or more, I don't know. And the whole he's going to have to give himself time to engage in Torah study. That means that he's not going to be able to engage in all of these pursuit of physical and material pleasures that people do. And so he's gonna be withholding himself from tanugim, and that itself is called that he's afflicting himself in the learning of Torah. That's one way of explaining it, but there's another way of explaining it, that to afflict oneself in learning Torah means to just like a person is, let's say a person's running a race, he's going to run the mile. So what is he's going to have an enjoyable time over there? If he wants to run the mile under 4 minutes, what's he going to have to do? He's going to enjoy himself over there and have a nice pleasant jog over there. He's going to be afflicting himself. He's going to be giving it his all. He's going to be putting himself out for the purpose of being able to get to that finish line under 4 minutes. That's called afflicting himself.
Mm.
And so that same effort that the athlete does when he runs the mile, you also need that when it comes to Torah. It's not exactly the same thing. You're right. It's largely a mental. It's largely a mental thing. He's using his mind, but a person also, it's right. How does he do? He's really, sometimes people tell me when I tell them over the Gemara and I say, yeah, there's this step and that step and that step, and they say, Rabbi, you gave me a headache already. It's too much, right? That's called they're afflicted. Yeah, that's right. You got that headache means that that's exactly what you're doing over there. Now, after a while, it does become pleasurable to have this headache. You start to become a what's that name of that person? He likes to give pain to himself. It's enjoyable, but yeah, it's like it's being a masochist, because generally what a person likes to do is he likes to just not exert himself so much and not be so focused, and every single step, and he's got to know every single detail, and he's got to understand how this step follows from the next step, and what was the Havamin, and what was the Teretz, and what was the this, and what was the that's called being Mitzayer oneself in learning Torah. Yeah.
So
and if he does that,
What should my attitude towards Torah be? Should I say either Torah is pleasurable? I like learning Torah. I enjoy it. It's fulfilling, etc. Or alternatively, should I say it's a mitzvah? I have to do it. It's an obligation. I'm not doing it for fun. It's a burden.
So what we have to do to answer that question is we have to get a copy of the Sefer Eglei Tal. The Eglei Tal, he wrote a Sefer about the Lamites Malachos, very, very chashuv a Sefer. But what is perhaps even more chashuv than the Sefer itself is the Hakdama, the introduction of the Eglei Tal to this Sefer, because he deals with this question specifically. And I'll just give you the gist of what he says over there. What the Welt says that he says. He says over there, people say that the mitzvah of Talmud Torah is to afflict yourself, to be a masochist, and to make sure that don't enjoy what you're doing. That's called Torah Lishma. Oh, that's Torah for its own sake. Says the Eglei Tal, I disagree with this point of view 1000%. He says, on the contrary, the mitzvah of Torah Lishma, to learn Torah Lishma for the sake of for Hashem's sake, for the sake of the mitzvah, but that's also a whole shmooze. What's it called? Torah Lishma. But in any case, what's called Torah Lishma, says the Eglei Tal, is dafka, when you enjoy the Torah that you're learning. And that you're enjoying it, that means that's an indication that you're learning Torah Lishma. That's what the Eglei Tal says. So what should you do? The answer is, like we always say on the Life of Bitochen, you do what works for you. You take the approach that makes you a bigger, better, healthier, happier person, closer to Hashem. If it works for you to say that what I'm doing over here is being a masochist and I'm causing myself great affliction in learning Torah, and that I feel close to Hashem, then go right ahead. That should be your way to do. But if that doesn't sound so appetizing to you, so then take the approach of the Eglei Tal. The Eglei Tal says, of course, the Eglei Tal, he didn't write the Eglei Tal just sitting back and chilling out and not giving the Gemara his full attention, right? If you would look at the Eglei Tal learning, well, he probably would have a smile on his face for sure, but he didn't miss a step, right? And that takes efforts. There's no way that cannot take efforts. So the bottom line is, it takes effort, but you don't have to say that I'm afflicting myself by giving effort. As a matter of fact, the guy that goes under 4 minutes in the mile, at the end of the day, he probably has a big smile on his face as a result of all that affliction that he put himself through. I would say so. Of course he does. He knows he's accomplished something. That's what he wanted to do.
I could see that he might say, I love running. Right. I love to run. And nevertheless, when he's actually, really pushing himself, he's sweating and he's afflicting himself. I could see that. I could see both of those. But what about the idea of the kesher that you make with the people that you're with? if I say, I benefit from learning Torah because I have friends. I have friends that are in the shiurim with me that I interact with, and I create a greater bond with them through the learning of the Torah. Is that a problem?
That is what's called a connection. When I first came to Chai Berlin, I had a car, and so that was a great thing. I was able to drive around the Rosh Hashiva. Shlita, you should live and be well. And so he asked me, so tell me, Reuven, have you been making a kesher with the balabatim here in the yeshiva? And I said, well, I have a night chavrusa actually with Levi Yitzchak Rothman. He should live and be well. There Yorbi Yizrach. And he said, oh, das is a kesher. That's a real connection. That you've made the best connection that you possibly can make to the people of the yeshiva. If you make a chavrusa with them, that's the ultimate connection. That's what the word chavrusa is. It comes from the word chaver. Chaver. That's the best chaver that there is. So that's part and parcel of and that's what the Gemara calls Tamidei Chacham. He calls them chaverim.
That does not take away from your learning lishma.
Absolutely not. That's the way Torah is learned. Torah is learned b'chabura. One has to learn Torah b'chabura. Chabura means connected to a group of people, and everybody is learning Torah. Everybody says their svara. This one disagrees. They discuss it. This idea is presented. This answer is presented. This question is asked. Oh, that's real Torah. That's the way to learn Torah. That's what we do in yeshiva. Yeshiva gives a person an opportunity to do just that, to learn Torah in a chabura of other individuals who also want to do the same thing. And of course, to have instruction from someone who is great in Torah, like a Rosh Hashiva. That's the ultimate. That's the ultimate way to learn Torah. But right, but this is what we try to do. We learn together in groups. Tov shnayim mina echad. Two's better than one. And look at what it says in Pirkei Avos. In Pirkei Avos, it says if there's 10 people that are learning Torah, then oh wow, it's tremendous, and even 9 people, and even one that's learning, Hashem comes and blesses him. Yeah, that's very nice. It's good. But you hear clearly from the Pirkei Avos, what's the ideal? The ideal is not the one learning by himself. The ideal is that they're learning b'chabura. That's the way to learn Torah.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's the Gemara in Tamid. That's what we have to do. So that's called killing ourselves. So we might think to say, oh, this is our life. Ki hem chayenu v'arech yameinu. To kill ourselves. This is our life, and this is the length of our days, to kill ourselves. Yeah. That's what it means. Okay. So that brings us up to the end of the hour. So we yeshikoyk to everybody for being mishtatev. And we will say goodbye to Mayor now.
Okay.
Have a good day,
Thanks,
Mayor.
Hashem.
Be well, Yom Tov.
Have a good day. And yashikoyach.
Very good. Thank you.
We had another chance to take a look at this Gemara and see how amazing and incredible this Gemara really is.
All right. See you in a few minutes, Rabbi.
Be'ezus Hashem. Yeah. Yeah. Alan, I don't know if he's coming, but I spoke to Roy. He said he hopes to finish up with the air conditioner serviceman soon and join us.
What about Phil?
Oh, Phil. Oh yeah, I guess Phil is. I wasn't in touch with him. I hope he can get in.
Yeah, you might need to send him a link.
Okay.
If
All
you
right.
want, I can forward it to him if you want.
Yeah, that would help me. Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to learn how to do that link business very soon.
All right. I'll forward the link to Phil.
Okay, great.
All right. See you in a few minutes.
Great.
Okay.